We have to understand, we don't try cases we think we're going to lose. We settle cases we think we're going to lose. We only try cases because we think we can win them. And we know we can't win every case. We have a very high win rate in defending our members. It generally ranges from 80 to 90% of the cases we try, we win. So of all the cases that are made against healthcare providers nationwide, only about 1% of them actually go to trial and result in a plaintiff's verdict. Now, what happens when we lose these cases is we've seen an explosion in the amount of the verdicts that we're seeing. And put it in perspective for you, back in 2010, we saw 18 verdicts of $10 million or more. By the end of 2023, we saw 58 verdicts. We've gone from seeing in 2010 about one nuclear verdict every 3 weeks to seeing in 2023 a nuclear verdict every week across the United States. And 2023 broke a record that was set in 2022. The bad news is that 2024 is on pace to equal or surpass 2023. Even more troubling than the frequency of these large verdicts is the escalation in the average verdict. One of the things we study from an industry perspective in the MPL space is the average of the top 50 MPL verdicts. And in 2022, the average of the top 50 verdicts was $32 million for each plaintiff's verdict. That number for 2023 was $48 million. In other words, it was a 50% increase over 2022, what we experienced in 2023. Even more troubling to us as an industry is the fact that we used to be able to predict where we would see these big verdicts. We expected to see them in New York, Illinois, Florida, Pennsylvania. That's what we expected. Now we see them in places like Nebraska, Iowa, Alabama, Idaho, Utah. It's unpredictable. And what happens with these big verdicts is when we're in the settlement process of a claim, plaintiff's lawyers write us a letter, we call it a demand letter, where they put forth what they're willing to settle the case for. And they take these big verdicts and they include them in the demand letter. And the demand letter cites the amount of these verdicts, and there's usually 2 or 3 that are cases that are on par in terms of the facts and injury at issue in the underlying case we're trying to settle. And it forces us to have to deal with demands that are higher, settlement demands that are higher. And it also forces us to have to be thinking twice, if you will, about whether or not we're willing to try a particular case. So it puts pressure on us not only to pay more for each case, but to settle more frequently than we're accustomed to. And when you are paying more for each case and you're settling more cases, the compound impact of both of those things coming together drives rates up faster than anything we've ever seen before.